Everybody, I'm Jay Del Negro, and this is me showing you my sketchbook. And today, what I'm going to go through, I should probably turn that around. Today, what I'm going to go through is my Canson 114-pound sketchbook. It is multimedia, and you can do just about anything in here. What I've done in here was a little bit of color pencils, some paint, a little bit of paint markers, probably less than the actual paint, and a lot of Micron inking. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this and opened up and shared the work I do behind the scenes before I do something fantastic such as that, or is anything else up on this wall. But it all starts from somewhere, and it starts from an idea that goes into a sketchbook or on a piece of paper. If you want to see more of my stuff, what you can do is follow me on Instagram at delnegro_art, or you can keep on following me here wherever you're watching this. But let me introduce you to some of my sketches. First piece here. It's based off of Simpsons characters. That is Carl Carlson, and I don't know the officer's name. This actually turned out to be a painting that a good friend of mine has. This is also Carl Carlson, and this is the face that ended up on the painting, and not that one. Working on my signature that I still don't have a good version of, but that's me working it out. This is some yeeks and a face, and I got some flesh tone alcohol markers, and I was trying to figure out how to use them. If you can't tell, didn't quite figure it out. Over here is body of a woman. It's faint, can barely see it. I was looking at, what is it called? Like, I don't know if it's called collage or whatever. I was watching some kids on YouTube fit a bunch of characters and faces into shapes and what have you. And I just wanted to try it for myself with some cheap alcohol markers, and gave it a shot with this with a series of markers and the, what's the name of the pen? What's the name of the pen? Micron. Some Micron fine liners of different thicknesses or what have you. I get bored doing these. These don't exactly like speak to me sufficiently. It's neat to look at, but like doing the work, I don't like it. Just doesn't seem that interesting to me overall. Definitely inspired by Matt Gondik, and I was just working on lines and keeping things more or less uniform. You know, the deconstructed Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, just took their faces and sketched it out and spent some time working on the lines. And this was back when I was definitely more into pop art and a graphic style closely resembling superheroes and cartoon characters and what have you. I thought this one was pretty cool and neat. As far as the work done, it would have been better if I'd have added blacks and colors to it, but I thought it was a cool piece. Just a random person I found on the internet, just sketching it out. And again, this was before I started doing portraiture. Didn't really know what to do, but I just wanted to try. So this is, someone told me they were a fan of my art and they wanted me to help them, but they wanted to try something that wasn't my style. It was single line art, and I was just trying it, cheating the system probably, because none of these are definitely single line. Maybe, I don't know. Again, some on this page as well. This was really the transition into portraiture, because someone wanted me to paint something. And they gave me no ideas, they gave me no suggestions. It's that I just want you to paint something. And my thought was Childish Gambino from This Is America. And so I sketched it out, and trying to tell a story. There are some plants and power lines and some old sneakers, and I had this idea, and he's saying truth. I was into speech bubbles, saying something, a singular word or whatever, but I just wanted people represented in my art, whether it was a cartoon or an actual person, to say something. And this was going to be something, and it never announced it because the person never pursued it much more than what was discussed. So, and for me, like, I wasn't committed to it, but this was the idea that started the transition into me doing portraiture. These are rough sketches when I think these are color pencils. Yeah, they don't feel as heavy on the paper as oil pastels, but these are absolutely color pencils. And I'm just playing with the colors, trying to figure out what to do. Didn't know what to do, but I was trying. This is my style, quote unquote, of a good friend of mine's dad. And I recently found out in the past week or so that he actually got this tattooed on his shoulder. So this piece appears on someone's body, and I think that's hella dope. But this is a portrait of his dad from when he was younger in my cartoony style, and I hadn't quite switched over into doing like portraitures and trying to actually get likenesses, but he loved it so much. It is now a part of his body and will be there until the end of time. A monkey squeezing a banana with a hoodie on. Like, who doesn't do stuff like that? Everybody, right? Just random color pencil shading things, and I think that one's pretty dope. That one speaks to me more than anything else. This is fine, but this one jumps out to me a bit. I've never felt good or comfortable with coloring, so I wanted to take some time out and just try it. I draw okay, but coloring was like, always felt like it was my weakest area of work. A little bit more of that, nothing, again, spectacular, and I tried to replicate with the eye, the light area around the eye there. It just didn't come out exactly. And I probably just got uninspired by it and stopped. A doodle of myself in a Cyclops looking character that actually exists, but not in this form. Can't really make it out. This is a YouTuber. He used to talk a lot about finance, and I think he made some decisions like this was the, and again, speech bubble says something. He said slut. This was the head to go in this character that's in the red, just like a tiger, proud varsity jacket kind of dude, and then his face just jumped out to me, so I just tried to cartoon it up in my style. I watch a lot of YouTube, by the way. So this one's like Cosby Kid powering up with like a Weapon X helmet. I think not Bill, but the other one, it kind of looks like Bill. Maybe it is Bill. I don't know, but that's what it's based off of. This was absolutely cause inspired, just a doodle, just a doodle with shapes and shading and trying to blend it all together, and something with line work and this, that, and the third, but SpongeBob-ish face and floating things and leaves and just stuff. This one's kind of interesting because I don't know if you can make it out, but my youngest son, he drew this blue line here, and I said I was gonna make something from it. That's what I made. It's a blue line there too, but that's what I made. It's like a weird blade stabbing him through his head, going this way. It doesn't, this would mean if the blade is coming through the front and then comes out the side, it means the blade curves on the inside, and that is just a messy attack there. Goofy, inspired, but not exactly, and poor Donald's afraid over here because his friend just got stabbed through the head with a bullet wound, but it comes out the side, something different. A little bit of brain chunks right there for you, in case you're interested. The black kid from Recess, he dunked it. I had some pins, some cheap, I think they were felt tip, I'm not sure, some cheap pins, but I just decided to draw in that color. And I think on the next page you'll see some other pieces of art done in the other colors from, yep, exactly. That is Red Herring from a pup named Scooby-Doo, and that is, what was the number? Was it number 2 from Codename Kids Next Door? The one that was voiced by Cree Summers? Probably could have colored in her hair, but I'm just messing with the pens. I think it was a 3-pack of red, green, and blue. And I just decided to do that. I think it's pretty neat. If I wanted to do more with it, I would thicken him up and what have you, but it just was fun to do. And then this is, I think I saw a skull somewhere like on TV, and I was pause the screen and just try to draw it real quick and make something of it, but nothing major. This was me attempting to emulate a style that I did not do well with and did not enjoy. This was for a contest for something on Instagram that I never received my t-shirt for, but there's a character that had these storylines. I wish I could remember his name, but he was always drunk and telling everyone else that they were drunk, so that's what I did, and that's who that is. But he doesn't wear shoes and ripped up shorts, and I think he's a purple top and brown skin or something like that. But yeah, I won and never received my t-shirt, but that's neither here nor there. This was a sketch of Ollie and Preach. Whatever. Whatever. This, coincidentally, Mario. He's like melting. So he should be looking in that direction. And this was just a girl, and again, speech bubble, period. Because, you know, that's what girls who wear 30 inches say. They wear tights and Apple Watches and big ass Balenciagas or whatever. And they say, period. If I made her nose a little bit bigger, she would look a lot like Glorilla. And this was done long before Glorilla was ever in anybody's lexicon. So just what it was. And I colored it with Prismacolor color pencils, and I think probably an alcohol tip marker. That's why it looks so dirty or what have you. It was cool. I went backwards because I turned the book upside down. This is like some Darkwing Duck composition thing that is or isn't a thing. It just was something to do with booty. I'm pretty sure that's not Chico Bean because he has hair up here, but just doodles, nothing serious. I think I completed this character in Procreate because I was trying someone's art tips or something like that, but just another sketch about nothing. This was an Afro character doing the Street Fighter Shoryuken, whatever, uppercut from Ryu and Ken. I don't recall if there was a specific reason why I chose the Afro character or what I was thinking, but then over here was going to be somebody being knocked out, but that never happened. This turned into an actual painting that I still have. It's fun to look at, but you just start off somewhere. Ideas again, playing with markers, trying to figure out shading and this and that, and just other shapes that didn't amount to much of anything. And he's giving you this, but the fingers are weird. It happens. Another booty. This one's a better one. He seems to approve. But it was really just about like the markers, the alcohol markers, and trying to make sense of them. Throughout this book, I don't believe I ever make sense of them. I use them better now. I would say this book was from 2020 or so, close to it. And I really feel good about this face, considering it was just on a whim. It just figuring out shading and shapes of where faces are. I would bring out the nose a little bit more, and the bridge, well, the bridge is up here, but whatever that part is there, right at the tip of your nose, I would showcase that a little bit more, but I still like it. This is the beginning ideas for a podcaster who wanted her cover art for her show to be this cartoon thing. And I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring to life. There are a couple sketches in this book that have to do with this. And again, this has to do with me moving out. Well, the truth is, I hate doing commission work. That's the truth. I hate doing work for other people because oftentimes I just don't believe in their vision. But she's into lighting sage, rolling joints, and the earrings. I guess they're called bamboo earrings, but those were a big deal. Those are important. This is alcohol markers. Had a good time with it. I just felt like the colors were cool. Wario, but just like weirded out or whatever. If anything, like I painted this trash. I've done some digital stuff with it, but never really showcased it. But I thought the original piece was just cool to look at. It means nothing. It's just pencil and alcohol markers and maybe a white gel pen. No, this is a paint marker because the size of this is definitely a Posca pen. And this is more sketches for that project that never worked out because I didn't work it out. I was looking for some designs for my name. I've got one now, but these birds, my nickname is, these are just like simple birds and J written over it. Maybe with my name now, I could probably incorporate a bird of some sorts in that. This was the final design that I came up with for the podcast cover, and I just wasn't happy with it. It was cool, but it wasn't me at all. Like I did it wrong. Like her shoulder's missing, should be lined in here or something. Like it just wasn't right, and I didn't like it at all. So I gladly told her like I can't do it. It's not working. Don't remember the exact reason, but if you're watching this, it's because it wasn't working for me. Again, Jay trying to incorporate into a bird. I am not a logo designer at all. We are not gonna go there. This was like an exercise just for using, I think, Illustrator. I just wanted some strong lines and simple character, just fighting the power. We all should fight the power every now and again. There's just like black kid with a baseball cap. Just fun stuff to draw. I like bold lines with my cartoons or character design pieces. I can still work at like bringing sneakers to life a little bit more. They're a little too blocky and not like form in a shape that makes a lot of sense. This was, if you can see it, it was Freddy Krueger of sorts, just penciling it out. This is Dipper, I think that's his name, from Gravity Falls. I just put him in cool clothes and gave him a third eye, because why not? And again, earring, deconstruction, just something to show. Wavy, because why not? This was a black Santa, didn't happen. A Mr. T-ish character, not exactly 1,000% sure what's going on with that, but this became a painting that I still have, and he had something to say in there, and then the painting is called Shift Blame, and it's from a song lyric, but I do not remember the song lyric that I got it from. Megatron, not exactly 100% good with like scale and like perspective. Sometimes you think about things too much and you focus on like the wrong parts, so things are just like not right. My buddy got into using Procreate. He was doing a lot of like Transformers and stuff, and I just wanted to try my hand at it, and this was it. Wasn't fantastic. Again, alcohol-based markers, and I guess that white paint marker still. This became a painting. I believe my former podcast co-host, Sir Nigel, actually owns this one. It looks a bit different, but just the idea and concept starts here, and it just became something else. I was on a skull kick for a little bit, and this is like a Skeletor-ish idea that I painted some bookmarks. I painted on some bookmarks, and it's cool. I think you don't get the eyes, you get like this part. So they didn't scale it right, but definitely a thing. Again, I like bold lines, and I just wanted to do some hip hop looking ish, and this was it. Like that line's a little clunky, but ultimately, like this was just something to do just to exercise. Like, he was about to say something. You see that bow? It was there. He was going to say something. I just don't know what he was going to say. Of course, the mask was inspired by Neptune. Headphones on, the cap, hoodie, big ass dookie rope around his neck, just something to do. Pretty Lady, Pink Panther, and this is what that original piece from a couple pages ago, that face became that face. And it's out there because you can see it's in the same form or what have you. This was an angry Fozzie Bear. There's an artist who does stencil work, and he's really good. And he spray paints and form, like, you know, cuts his stencils, he does his spray painting, and the colors are usually like 2 or 3 color variances. Like the shadow of the character will also be the background color, and then the black outlines and the white in the eyes or something like that. And I was trying my hand at how could I do that, and I just thought it was dope. And this was an idea for a playing card, just like that would become a painting. I think he's holding a rose and that one's holding a knife, because violence is never the answer. Love is the way, but you gotta start somewhere. Skull-ish. Skull again. There's a skull back there. I do not know what this is, but it's there. Simple skull. Figures, blue, other blue, I do not know. This became a painting. Took that skull, it became that skull. This skull became that skull. And I painted it on a yellow background. It was like a 12 by 12 wooden, I don't know if it's board or whatever, real thick, and it was in the first exhibition I've ever done with, what is the group called? Creative something out of Baltimore. These young dudes, and they had it at a eyebrow threading shop. They just had this wall, and I submitted, got in, and the owner of the shop actually bought this piece. So I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but this is out there in the world, and she copped it, and I appreciate her for that. Donald Duck, because why not? This does not exist. This was painted over, but it became a painting for a while. This is really when I started getting into portraiture. The subject that was referenced is Joel Embiid, and I was never confident with how I color, so I just used other colors to try to make it make sense. And this was one of the earliest things I've tried to make it make sense. And I think it's pretty cool. It kind of looks like something, and it's just nice to look at. Not Dave Chappelle, just a guy, but the same thing. And I didn't quite do it as well, but still all trying to figure it out. This was a pound puppy with a gun, and these were going to be the shoes I was going to put on the pound puppy because run it. Because have to have something to say. He's got his hands out, got the gun in his hand, like just give me your coins. Like what's the problem here? Give me your coins. That was me. Instagram person. This became a painting as well. again, loosely based off of like deconstruction and people melting, like the Mario and Luigi that we come across earlier. It's just, I hated it from the painting. Like that doesn't strike fear. That kind of bend in the arm does not strike fear that you're getting punched. He's been beaten to a pulp, literally. But it doesn't work. So I painted over it. And what went over it was actually this one is what went over it. So it's kind of visible underneath because I left some areas where it just shows up. But actually, no, there's another painting of a woman that this is over top of that, but that's been purchased as well. So thank you, owner of my piece of art. This was like a color idea. It might show up in another sketchbook of mine, but I'm not exactly sure. The color, someone has something to say. He says, help. Why? I don't know, but that's what he says. It's a Luigi-ish sketch, and this was me playing around and drawing Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon to look friendlier. Don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I did. Sure enough, not great, but who cares? And finally, it's your boy. Blue marker, alcohol marker, and then color pencil over top of it before I grew up the fro fully. Just trying to figure things out.